What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Homegrow TV talk show and podcast. I just got done filming the session with Vince and Weed from Germany, and what a cool dude. What an interesting podcast, where in this one we dive through some of the details, a lot of the details of what's going on in Germany since the changes in legalization in April, which is just a few short weeks ago. We're also going to be going to Germany. By the time of this upload, we might be there right now for the event in Mary Jane, Berlin, which is in the middle of June. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, a lot about the homegrow scene in Germany. So kick back and get ready for an awesome, interesting, international podcast. Before we jump in, though, let's thank this week's sponsor, AC Infinity. Just yesterday, they dropped the world's first air conditioning unit made for homegrowers. The TERRAFORM 7. What's dope about this machine is it's not just a cooling system, but it also has modes for heating, dehumidifying, and circulation, all tied into the dynamic triggers, timers, and cycles set from the Controller 69. Meaning with this 4-way ducting system, we can set different pressure configurations, route ducting in specific ways, and create positive pressure to control what goes into your tent. The specs on the TERRAFORM 7 are 800 watts of power, 8,000 BTU, and covers a 1,200 square foot or 10 by 10 by 10 grow space. I'll be plugging in mine today at the new indoor grow. I can't wait to get things going and see how this performs. Available for pre-order now on acinfinity.com. Use code HomegrowTV to save yourself a nice chunk of change at checkout. And throw down any questions that you might have in the comments so myself or AC Infinity can get back to you ASAP. Vince, my man, welcome to the podcast, brother. Officially the first guest that we've ever had over in Europe, brother. How you doing?
I'm fine. Nice to be here on your show, connecting internationally the cannabis content creators and educators.
Dude, it's been so cool watching your journey over, it feels like years now, just since we connected on Instagram. We've been chatting back and forth. And for those watching, we haven't actually got a chance to meet up in person yet, which we will be doing here in like 2 weeks' time at the Mary Jane Berlin. And we'll be talking about that event here in a second. But Vince, for those who maybe aren't familiar with your channel, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how the Vince and Weed came to be?
Yeah, long story short, 2017, Germany brought in the medical legalization. I became a patient, and from that point on, I was able to show face related to cannabis. I quit growing there. I was a home grower. I made a trade. I stopped growing, but I show face for the education and the legalization movement. And there I started my first YouTube channel with a company together. It wasn't my channel, not my property. It was called Growers Life. If you had said me years before that I would show my face into a camera for cannabis, no fucking way. I was grower. Yeah, and then I started 4 years ago, 4 years now. Also, like you started your channel also at the beginning of 2020, I think. I saw you immediately, man. Your quality was sticking out. And,
Thanks, man.
yeah, I started VinceandWeed. This is my private channel, and I do the same like you, passionate about the plant, educating about growing, extracting, and consumption, and pushing the movement and being student for life.
That's amazing, man. So for all those tuned in, we do have Vince and Weed's link down below. It's definitely a channel I recommend checking out. And it's just been unbelievable, the amount of comments we've been getting on the channel, the amount of engagement we've been getting from people in Germany since this whole change that has happened in April. And I can't wait to dive into some of your perception on it. But before we jump into the legalities and the things that have changed in Germany, was there anything specific, Vince, that had you excited to start creating content back when you very first started, even when it wasn't your channel, or in transition to creating your own? Was there one specific moment or a reason and why do this in the cannabis space and why create these kind of videos?
I was a guy regular growing my cannabis, and I was educating myself in forums when the internet was really small. YouTube wasn't that big or not that penetrated with grow content. BC Bubbleman was there, Frenchie was there, and some really early veterans of the cannabis education movement. And when Instagram came up, 2012, when it became big thing also in Germany, I thought, man, all the knowledge I got from so many great teachers in the boards, I wanted to translate this knowledge from boards to social media. And I never thought about to make this really my living. It's so crazy to say.
Right.
Yeah, driven by passion and transferring all the knowledge I got to so many people as possible.
Wow. You've definitely done that. You know, especially now seeing where the channel is going, where the viewership is going. You're most certainly creating a very strong and impactful voice in Germany, I think, and educating a lot of people like myself as far as like what is happening there. And I was excited for this podcast for that, right? For those that don't know, Germany just went legal this year in April, right? So Vince, tell us a little bit about like, before we get into the details of it, did you expect for it to go legal this April? What were your thoughts on it? What was your mind before it happened?
When you are in a constant battle, yeah, for something, you sometimes lose a little bit the proportion for what's going on. And to be true, I thought I was prepared for the 1st of April, but I wasn't. I can explain that in a second. I thought it will take a little bit longer, and then really I get goosebumps all about my body because in one moment it was reality, yeah.
Wow.
So I thought it will be because we have been observing and really observing 24 months the process from the beginning of a new law to being in how you say that in English, that the law is really active. Yeah, it was 24
Right.
months, and it was the first time in my life that I was really looking how a new law will be applied to the German law system, and it was so frustrating because so much forward, backward, and then now we will also talk about what we got at the end in Germany. Yeah, it was really from one moment there, they said, okay, we will do it. And then we were waiting. And then 4 weeks later, it was reality. And I didn't had my fucking setup ready till now because I was completely overwhelmed. I thought, yeah, I will buy my lights a little bit later. I didn't need my lights the last 5-6 years.
Right.
And now the shops really, you have to imagine all the shops are completely sold out. I love
Wow.
it for them. Not good for the end consumer, but they have been supporting the underground growing movement decades, yeah, under the prohibition.
Wow.
And now
Yep.
they are sold out. And from my bottom of my heart, I wish all the grow shops who have been the last 10, 12, 20 years here surrounding us and supporting us now the best business in their life.
Wow, no doubt, dude. That is amazing. You gave me goosebumps there too. Being at Spanibus and getting to meet so many amazing Germans with a lot of history, right? People had been growing before and crazy stories, but they were just so nice. But what I noticed an ongoing thread when I asked them, I was like, do you think, when is it going to go legal? Not one person at the whole Spanibus event told me, I think it's going to happen in April. Everyone was like 8 months. It could
Yeah.
be a year, but everyone was very positive. They knew it could be happening at some point soon. So you said it there. What did you guys end up legalizing? What were the
Yeah.
terms and what do you guys have now as growers and as consumers?
I will try to make it so interesting and short as possible for your community.
Thank you.
It's not really legal, okay? We got something, and the Germans are Germans. They make it right, yeah?
Yep.
So the politicians didn't want it to be in trouble with the international law, yeah, and they didn't want it to become in trouble with the European law. These are two different levels. So, and to make it really easy to understand, you are not allowed to traffic drugs, yeah,
Okay.
and in the international level, and in Europe, in the European level, it's nearly the same because sticking to the conventions, you are not allowed to support this. So
Okay.
it has to go under a certain yeah, how you can say it, it has to be a test, yeah, and we have to see if we can change our problems to a better for the societies. It's a health approach, yeah, and by that, this is why we didn't get a really legalization. The law starts with the phrase cannabis is forbidden, but in some
Oh,
cases it's okay. So we
wow.
don't have shops, we
Okay.
don't have economical land where the people can start to build really businesses. We just get clubs so that the people get supplied but with cannabis, and you are allowed to grow at home. But
Okay.
that's it. Yeah, we have now. This is really crazy, and this is making me every day crazy. I'm just allowed to have free flowers, free plants in flower,
Okay.
and now we come already into the gray zone. I think I'm able also to hold mother plants.
Right.
But this will be a part of a discussion because in the German law there is written, what is a cannabis plant? A cannabis plant is a plant which is in flower and have flowers. And
Right.
then there is also on the other extreme seeds and cuttings, but there is nothing between cuttings and flower plants. We don't know what's going on with mother plants and what's going on with older plants. I go that far that I would say to hold 2 mother plants and 3 plants in flower
Yep.
could be fine because there's one. Look, this is the crazy thing. Nobody knows how the rules will be applied at the end.
Right.
You are allowed to buy 7 seeds per month in a
Okay.
social club and 5 cuttings. So now and this is a little bit German. If I'm allowed to buy 5 cuttings in the club and I pay money for that and I'm just
Yep.
allowed to flower 3 of them, nobody tells me in the law that I have to kill these 2 cuttings. And nobody tells me what to do with them. So I think these 2 cuttings I paid with my money, I will be able to grow till my 3 other plants have been harvested.
Mm-hmm.
And I can use them then to flower. This will be look. I'm completely willing to go into confrontation with the law to see where we can bend the rules. Okay,
Right.
so let's see what comes. So, and the next thing is 50 grams is just allowed to have dry, smokable flower at home. Everybody knows with 3 plants we will harvest
Yeah,
a little
hopefully
bit
more
more
than
than
50. Yeah. Probably more than 50, right? Wow,
Yeah.
that is so interesting. And I like how you say, and I would assume a lot of people probably in Germany are looking to see where is that line? Because that was my first question too, right? Okay, so 3, and in any country that has a limit, such as Colombia, we can do 20 per household here. Is it 20 just in flowering? And then what about seedlings in your next batch running in? Do you think the government, or how much so do you think that they're going to be listening to your guys' results, opinions, and suggestions for future?
On my opinion, nothing. No, but as a movement, together we are strong. This is a really thing. Is something I learned now during the legalization for this. What we are now in Germany. The thing is, at the end, we will have now a process in the upcoming years. It will be. The people will see some rules will be stupid, then they will proceed or prosecute the people really for them. Then maybe we can come and say, okay, let's change the rules really so that nobody will be in a gray area. But this will be a process of the next 5-10 years minimum.
Imagine.
But yeah, I think that it will be step by step now. I'm completely thankful to have free plants in flower now at home. My wife started her living soil bed with 250 liters of soil in her
Wow.
living room. It's crazy. We are capable now to be in some sort of limits legal, but man, now I have my fucking foot in the door, and the Germans now we will fight and continuously fighting to
Yep.
have something like, let's talk about what's a good regulation. I would
Yep.
say we have to limit the flowering space or the amount of light I am capable or allowed to use for flowering. This would be something nice. Let's say
Interesting.
1.5 square meters per person to flower.
Yeah.
because I want to have another room or maybe 5 rooms full of mother plants for
Yep.
breeding.
Right.
But yeah, let's say, or let's limit flower consumption of the canopy light, 1,000 watts per person. I don't know, something like that.
That's interesting. I've never once thought of that as far as limiting your flower space, but it would kind of give you an easy solution. You know, we have this space. Look, some people want to do a sea of green. In my last video, we do a
Exactly.
big amount, right? But in the same space that sometimes we do just 4 plants. So I really like that suggestion, Vince. That's a really interesting one. I know for sure me, I'll be bugging you, bro, and a lot of my German grow bros that I get to meet, what's going on. And I get to come and visit you guys very soon in person. But one of the things I hadn't heard about much yet since all this change and these changes to the laws was the clubs. Can you give me a little insight into the viewers? What do the clubs look like? What are some of the differences maybe to that type of system that we may have seen in Spain?
Oh man, you're asking the right questions. The clubs in Spain are cannabis social clubs, and
Right.
we were really expecting something similar, yeah. And the German government cut it out, the S for social. It's a cannabis club.
Okay.
Man, so stupid roots. What you will hear now you will understand why we are at the beginning of the fight, not at the end, yeah.
Wow.
So, the cannabis social club is just a takeaway. They are not allowed to have social rooms where you are allowed. You are not. It's strictly written in the fucking law. You are not allowed to consume in the club.
Okay.
The one of the most important things of cannabis is sharing the experience, and also because this is a law which is the approach to for the health of our society. And one part of that is also that if you see that somebody consumes too much, as a friend, you can tell him, bro, man, we both love cannabis. You know that I love you as a brother, but I think that your amount of consumption is a little bit too high for your situation of life at the moment.
Right.
This just occurs when you are consuming together. If you see how the other people, and the German government thought, okay, when we restrict that they are allowed to have consumption laws as a club, they get there, they get a little bit of weed, they go home and they consume for themselves, and so they are not motivated by some other ones surrounding them to smoke more. So stupid, yeah? So,
Right.
social clubs, no consumption aside. Just pick up, go home. You are allowed to get 50 grams per month from your club. You are allowed to store 50 grams at home, but you are just allowed to carry on the street in Germany 25 grams with you. So
Okay.
if you want to consume 50 grams, you have to go twice to pick up your weed in the club. And yeah, what's also interesting about the clubs, they are not allowed to make profits. So why is that so important? The German government thought, how can we minimize the incentives for business?
Okay.
Because when we incentivize, or if we give some sort of possibility to make business out of it,
Yeah.
we give the criminals and the businessmen both opportunities. So this is crazy what you will hear right now. The clubs by that are limited to 500 people, so that it's not scalable.
Wow.
So then the next thing is, you are not allowed to have employees working on the plant. The government thought that the club members will come every day to the club and everybody will help a little bit in the garden. And we know as a grower, you
Right.
want your team, your core team, supplying the whole club with great cannabis, because they go every day into the facility. They know what they have to do. They keep it clean. It's not that everybody comes and scissors a little bit around the plant, makes a little bit the leaving. No. And bro, we can continue this podcast with German stupid cannabis laws. Maybe this is a good idea. We should make content together. In Germany, it doesn't sound funny, but we could do content together where we talk about the stupidity of the German cannabis law.
Wow. So I can tell that it's definitely not 100% to what you wanted to see it to be. And I think you said something so, clear in the sense of like, this is clearly the beginning,
Yeah.
of the journey and not the end, and now it is turned a new page. But one thing that got me curious, so who is supplying and growing for the clubs then? Is it a bunch of people who are able to give their license or for those three plants, or like, are the clubs able to grow more than other people? How do they provide for 500
Yeah.
people if it's one club? Where are the plants coming from?
Yeah. So this is, I think, one of the most talked topics at the moment on the phone with people consulting and
Yeah.
exchanging. So the club has to have a facility where he is growing the weed. It has to have certain security standards.
Okay.
Totally possible to realize that. And then the club should grow the weed together. What we know won't be this is not possible to grow with 200 people 100 square feet of flower. So if you have
Okay.
500 club members and you are allowed to serve them every month 50 grams, you can make the calculation. Yeah, and by that you know the maximum limit of grow facility. So if we say it depends also a little bit on which strains you are growing, and some good yielding strains would go over a certain amount per square meter. And by that, a club is not limited in plant count. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
The only thing what the club has to secure is that nobody gets hands on the weed who is not allowed.
Okay.
That it's documented who gets the weed as an associate of the club. And then if there is overproduction, you have to really, this will be fucking German, you have really to document everything. We have thrown 3 kilos weed because it's too much into the garbage. Yeah.
Right.
So how the reality will look like, we don't know. I think the club will be organized that there will be a certain core stuff which will grow at the end. Also, if the Lord doesn't want it like that, by that people will come to the club to pick up the weed, and then there will be a new business which is not directly related to the club, which offers you a nice cafe, smoking friendly with some nice dab rigs and clean pipes like we know it in Spain. And there the people will meet. And bro, you will come to visit us. There won't be clubs, but you will have a glimpse of the starting of the revival of the German cannabis culture.
Wow.
And now we will see how it goes. Nobody can really tell you how it will look in 2 or 3 years. Crazy
I bet you
times.
there's a bunch of guesses, huh? And a bunch of
Yeah.
hopes, I'm sure, and people dreaming for certain things. But if it goes like anything like many of the other countries, it's probably an outcome that no one really expected, or like you said, we don't really know, what's going to be there. And that's why I want to get there this year, to be able to say I was there in 2024 at the beginning, and then 10 years down the road, I can be like, yeah, I remember when, it first started. But talking genetics, and to bring the conversation to a little bit more of an exciting part, where are the genetics coming from that you're seeing in a lot of the clubs, or that the home growers are growing? Where are they coming from, and what are some popular cultivars that you're seeing now that people are growing their own in Germany?
So the genetics, they will come from all private stashes, and people who will be in the club will bring also their genetics into the club. Hopefully we will be all educated enough to clean them and to test them. I think we all know the topic with the viroids we are fighting now in our cannabis community. But there we also will be German. So I think they're the really crazy cuts. And I think also this will differentiate the clubs from each other. Which club will have which cuts, okay? For
yeah.
sure. And they will come from private collections. The law says that we are allowed to buy seeds from the whole European Union,
Okay.
but we are not allowed to import seeds from the States. Why? International law. So to import something on the international level brings you in a whole different trouble. So by writing into the law that we are not allowed to buy seeds from the States officially, which you definitely can buy in a seed bank in Europe also from
Okay.
certain breeders, But this was just to keep compliance with the international law. So, and the cuts will come from all over the place. And we have some genetics the German are really loving, and one genetic from Germany is the die grüne Hessen.
Okay.
It's one certain terp profile, a really interesting strain. It came from a board or from a user in a board, like in the good old times. And I think it was the Hanfburg. There is also another board, grower.ceh. This was where I was at the early beginnings to get all my knowledge to start my growing. And for sure, the Germans are the influential strains in Europe are also really influential strains in Germany. But one strain which was, I think, the most influential in the last years in the black market, it's Amnesia Haze, Amnesia Haze core cut. There are also these legacies, which is the real amnesia, the amnesia core cut or the amnesia haze. This would be filling a own stream by itself. But the amnesia haze really important strain in the German. The amnesia really was influencing the German cannabis smokers who are not growing but smoking all the time black market weed.
Yeah.
And also we have a lot of super lemon haze and super silver haze lovers in Germany. This have been a huge influential strains also in the black market, I can say. And now all the people are internationally, social media. It's not that there is something going on in the States or in Colombia or in Spain. For sure there are preferences. The critical times in Spain have been where the strain was all over. And this is something regional. This is the Grüne Hessen in Germany or the Amnesia Haze in the black market. And now the education is getting so high that you have everything. You have terp hunters. You have really people selecting their own genetics to hunt the one unicorn. You have people who are hunting their old flavors, which they have been missing over decades. And there it goes really back to the Schneewittchen, Northern Lights, White Widow stuff, or even Skunk #1. I know a lot of people who are hunting this old flavors.
Unreal.
I think it's the same. When I look on your content and what you are doing also, it's your content is consumed, I think. You see it in your numbers also by the Germans. Man, it's so nice to see which is the best blueberry and all this stuff, man. Great show, really. And we are the same. There is no difference. We know all the seed banks because everybody has today Instagram. If you are digging deeper, you get to know which is really a breeder you love, and then you try to get your hands on the seeds and then you hunt them.
Right. Heck yeah, man. For me, it's definitely one of the most exciting topics is just the different terps that are out, the different crosses and everything. And to bring it back to breeders, I know I had been recommended and tagged a few times, actually. When I got back from Spanibus, someone had dropped off a pack, and it was from a German breeder. Is there any German breeders now that you'd be willing to mention or talk about, or that are kind of like have popped up since April?
There are a lot of people in the underground, but who I have to mention is Stoner Bazaar. He's I would say, the head breeder from Grandma's Genetics. Really crazy, passionate. There is Chef Grow Genetics.
That's the one. Yeah, it was Chef, dude, and we got so many comments on that one. And I have that pack. We are going to be testing it because that's my first German bred.
Yeah, and then there's Basement Chaka, and there's so many popping out.
That's awesome.
Now. They have been all the time working under the surface of prohibition, and now they have the possibility to show Mr. Green Genetics. Man, these are people really regular people, passionate, growing since years. For them, for sure, some had also the vision. I have to make my work really good because maybe one day I will have the possibility to do something with my work and to make out of a living. And really for everybody who was pushing hard under the prohibition. And even if I can even say, even if you are a person who when we are not friends, I wish you that you will be successful with everything you have done in the last couple of decades, because you deserve it, if we are friends or
Wow.
not, really, for everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. Big shout out to everyone who's been putting in the work, right, for years and years. And even if it was just like a dream that hopefully one day, if that happens, but we know that they would continue to do it anyway, they would still be crossing their own flavors, just strictly out of passion and not as a business idea. So I absolutely respect it. And I thought that was so cool when I started hearing that there was German breeders. And now that you say that there's quite a few, it gets me so excited, man. I cannot wait to see the unique,
And now you
different
see the problem.
combinations.
Sorry for interrupting
No,
you,
please.
bro, but look, the problem is I would love to pop at least 50 seeds. And I would love to have from all these German breeders one pack to pop. But
Right.
with this three plants in flower, bro, I'm so limited, yeah? And this
Right.
is why we will find ways around that. I told you that clubs don't have a plant count.
Yeah.
And I tell you something. I don't want to open a club to get a little bit cash in some not official ways out of the system to make a living out of that.
Right.
I want a club with, let's say, 30 max. Yeah, let's say 30 persons who are also so dedicated and passionate, and so
Yep.
that we have a space where we legally can pop more seeds to make hunts for new phenos, and then everybody can take out of our hub of genetics, the genetics he wants to cross, and then
Yep.
go home to his tent and cross them there, and then he can claim this is his stuff. We started together in the basement, but everybody can
Yep.
start his projects with genetics, and this is a dream I have at the moment.
Oh,
And
dude, throw it down in the comments, guys, especially any Germans tuning in right now. Who else wants to see Vince come through with that idea eventually? Because that was one of my next questions is there going to be any other licenses available? I know in Canada there was the RCMPR. I could be saying it wrong, but there was additional licenses you could go and apply for and get to do 150 or 300 plants. And here in Colombia, our limit's 20, and you can go out and get licenses for investigation, and that's what we're going through right now. It seems like what you just mentioned could be a solution. I assume not for everyone, but is there any other ways or licenses for someone to be able to grow more than 3 other than
not
opening a
at the
club?
moment. It
Okay.
will be, like I said, in a club you don't have a plant count. And if you are a club not to supplying other ones with weed, so if the interest, because it's a club, you can do in a club what you want. You can be
Right.
open to other ones, or you can close down the doors with 30 person. And if the intention of the club is just to cultivate and breed, this will be possible. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a hustle, but it's possible.
Is it?
There, yeah,
Go
please.
ahead. I was just going to ask, how hard is it to get a club? Is this something that is like, are they looking at you for a year? Is
Nobody can tell you, because what you can do at the moment, or this is a little bit too much detail, but you can start the club right now, but you are not able to grow till you have the permission from the government.
Okay.
You can apply for the permission first of the July, first of July.
Okay.
So till then,
Wow.
what you can do is you can look for members, you can organize, you can think about your facility. Maybe you already have the financial capabilities to look for a facility and rent it and start to build, which is a risk. Yeah,
Right.
it's investment, which can be risky if you don't
Yep.
get the license. But nobody can tell you how it will roll out.
Got you.
Nobody. It will be completely different in Bavaria, where they hate weed till now. It will be completely different from city to city.
Okay.
It's so crazy, bro.
Right.
We have to continuously make content, let's say at least once a year now, so that you can document also what's going on our side, and maybe other countries and also other viewers can get inspired by what it's going on here, and we can learn from each other, like we did all the years also about growing.
Yeah.
Learn how to legalize.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
and then we will see. But to answer your second part of the question, if there are other ways of licensing, look, it's called the two-pillar legalization. This is the first pillar. No incentive for business. Just
Right.
consumer orientated, lowering risk for health, supplying the society with weed.
Yep.
No making money. Second pillar, testing out how like shops and also dispensaries would have an effect on the German society. This is the second pillar. So
Wow.
to understand, for the second pillar, you will make even bigger investments into facilities, into shops. You will work, and the government will watch 2 or 4 years later if they still want that. So
Wow.
to be true, this is a huge risk, but
Yeah.
for sure businessmen will go into this section and will try to start. It's called Pilotprojekt, yeah. A project where you test out, and you still have the opportunity or the capability to say no, we don't want that anymore for the government. So maybe this will come earlier than expected. And my thoughts are, we will have now the clubs and the home grow. Then maybe in 1 or 2 years, the second pillar will come, that we will have projects where we will test out how it is to have dispensaries, but not all over the country, in certain cities, under certain conditions, maybe also limited with the people that are able to go into this dispensaries.
Right.
So that it's like 2,500 people, and they will have to sign every month some papers, how they are doing, if they are well, if mental health, blah, 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 to see. This is German.
Yeah.
So we are Germans.
I love
And
it,
then
though.
maybe in 5 till 7 years, maybe we are on the point in Germany that also the conservative people saw that there are no zombies walking around and smoking pipes on the street and becoming criminals or zombies like they thought. And then they will say, okay, we have been stupid. What's going on? Everything is like 7 years in the past. Nothing changed. Just the society is relieved and
Right.
less criminals and less problems with all the cases in front of the court. And then, I can't predict, but man,
Yeah.
I hope for more plants, relieving society, and cannabis becoming something normal that nobody talks about it anymore.
Dude, I really hope for that Vince and Friends Club, at some point, again, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, if I get to come visit you guys and we get to see that into reality where you now have the freedom to be able to test more along with your community and your group and your friends and stuff. Like the advancements I feel that would come from that in the grower side would be immense. And on the genetic side, it seems like it's a completely different approach and different start to what Thailand had. Like there's no aspect to this that is hoping to get more tourism or hoping to have people traveling there for this reason, right?
No, to be true, you will come to Germany. Look, now, we are not allowed to give you weed. This is the next. Look, I told you we can make just a shit show about the new law. Okay, you're not allowed to share a joint, bro.
Whoa, right.
Bro, this is so ridiculous. Okay, so I'm not allowed to give you weed as a present. I'm not allowed to sell you weed. You are not allowed to take weed which you find on the street.
I was going to say that someone drops a nug by accident, I can't just pick that up and that's okay.
No, there is a fucking German word and it's called Verschaffung. It's not that you are not stealing. You are not stealing it. Yeah, you are not buying it. You are not getting it as a present. You find something. So in the moment you see something, for sure it's there.
Yeah.
But in the moment you take it, it gets into your possession. Yeah. So du verschaffst dir Weed.
Wow.
So you are not able to to find a plant in nature and to cut something off this plant if you haven't been growing it by yourself in your apartment. Next fucking stupid.
Wow,
bullshit, bro. I'm here in my basement. My thoughts are or have been to grow here with many boxes like you do. Yeah, I really, when I watch your content, bro, man, we are the same. We are regular guys loving weed, growing and educating what we have been learning from others. Yeah,
right.
And I watch your content. Really, bro. Each upload, I'm there.
Much love, brother.
So, and the thing is that I can't grow in my office. I have to grow in my private living rooms. Yeah, where I'm living, not living room, but in my private apartment. I'm not allowed to grow, even if I'm renting this room here, not to grow here. So stupid rules.
It has
bro.
to be your residence.
It has. Yeah, I have to be resident.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So we won't see many like you say, an office or even having a little tent behind as a set design or anything like that. For now, it has to be in your own personal residence. Maybe we set up a separate podcast studio in your personal residence too, in front of the three flowering
My wife
plants.
and I, I'm talking to be true every day at the moment. If we don't level up or if we don't move to find an apartment where we have 1 or 2 rooms more, where I can have my office and also a room because do you know what I was dreaming of? I was dreaming of to be in the setup and going with the camera on Twitch to my plants, to sit there, to make low stress training, to scrog my plants. Man, I'm so happy that I'm not illegal anymore if I start now to work a little bit on the plants. It's such a huge achievement. I can tell you the nice things, man. The cannabis culture have been there all the time, like I said, and now it's really breaking off the covering, and you see everywhere sessions and small cups popping up. Cups still illegal because you're not allowed to share weed, but we know the culture will still survive. But it's so crazy. You see the northern sesh, the south sesh, you see the Munich sesh, you see the Berlin sesh, you see the river sesh, you see the everything, the cloud sesh. It's everywhere are seshes, and also you really feel this relief when I've been on the event in Berlin. You will come to Berlin. Berlin have been all the years nearly legal, But if you have been on an event, you have been smoking, for sure you have been feeling safe, but in the moment you left the building, it was all the time this thought, especially when it's an official event, that maybe the police waits outside. Why not? They are able to do that, but it never happened. But now we have been on a boat with 200 people smoking on the riverside of Berlin, and we went from the boat and the people were la 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 la. Everything was fine. Nobody had fear with the last 10 grams of weed in the pocket that somebody can search them and making their lives hard. So relief is there.
No doubt. I can't wait to see that.
Bro,
and
really, I can't wait that you come around in the next 2 weeks.
Dude. And by the way, guys, after this podcast, we're gonna bro down for like 5-10 minutes and get some plans down for Mary Jane Berlin, where we're gonna be documenting and giving you guys a perspective of really what's going.
No sneak peek, but I already asked for you important questions to the German community so that you will have the right connections, maybe. For some nice
dude.
Shit.
Because that's right, guys. We're going to be headed to Mary Jane Berlin. Before we get to some of the fun stuff that is happening there and why that's such a cool event to be at, especially this year, I just wanted to touch on one last thing on the growers side, because you mentioned it a few times, the way things used to be. And the growers that were in this, for a while before this April, there was a crazy video on your channel. I absolutely love it. That's the bunker video when you go and tour this bunker. And right now we'll throw up some B-roll, guys, of this so you can see it. I recommend you go and watch this video no matter what language it is you speak, because it was so eye-opening to me to see that this was happening before in Germany. So what was the grower scene like before? Were we seeing a lot of these different type of setups like this bunker? And tell me a little bit about the scene before and then about this specific bunker.
I think that Germany has a good home growing culture. And like the Germans, but I don't want to say the Germans, everybody, also you're building your beautiful setup. And there are people who have been thinking all the years of prohibition, bro, this is my right, even if the law doesn't allow me to do that. And I will build my fucking basement out for a grow room, with a mother room, with a work room, this has all been already here. Yeah, this
Right.
is nothing new.
Okay.
For sure, what the Germans, because I was also working in a grow shop for a few years, I can tell you the is it the 1 meter 20 by 1 meter 20? It's 1.44 square meters, or the 1 by 1 meter.
Yeah.
These are setups which have been really popular in Germany. Yeah, so that you could grow your, because we know if you have been growing a few runs with 1 square meter plus, you are capable of harvesting your wheat and enough to share it with your friends, or making a little bit of money to compensate your bills for the electricity. So
Right.
Germany is really a grow box country, like, and the square meter. But now you see a shift. Now where it's becoming legal, the 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters, or the 60 by 1 meter 20 are the most common grow boxes, because they fit
Wow.
exactly into your regular living space with
Right.
with cupboards and everything. So, and what you have been talking about, the bunker, this is the perfect example for black market grown wheat for the German consumer.
Right.
And yeah, the this is something you can think of in different varieties. Yeah, you can find all supermarkets which are completely built out for cannabis
Old
cultivation.
supermarkets, like
Old
big buildings.
supermarkets. Yeah, people are using what they got. Look,
Yeah.
the underground, the legacy market, they what differentiates the German, and especially also I would say now the Germans to the Americans, is that the Americans have all the industrial facilities have like 4 or 5 meters, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have been using all the time 1,000 watts, blah blah blah, big double-ended lights. And in Europe, it was all the time more a little bit in the basement, a little bit lower roof height. So you had a little bit of different growth styles, but at
Yeah.
the end, it's the same like all over the world. People find what they can use, because a businessman tells them, you can use my facility. I don't know what you are doing there officially. Yeah.
Right.
So bunkers have been all the time also in the news every 1 or 2 years, one of this type of bunkers, because they are all over the country. These are facilities which are not used. Sometimes you get them cheap.
Yeah.
And the story behind the bunker is, I was talking with one of the growers. I got in touch with one of the growers who was working inside the bunker.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's still in jail. And this is why I could make an interview till now, because he wants to wait till everything is done.
Yeah.
Also, if we legalize. But the story behind the crew I got to know, I don't know if it's completely right, is one guy with a car dealer had the money, and he worked together with another businessman. They found passionate cannabis growers who thought, "Bro, we can grow in a amount and size we never believed we can do it." They give
Yeah.
us the facility, and so the crew was like some criminal intentions and also grower intentions with benefit of earning some money, and
Right.
they were covering the bunker as a for a test for a band to test, to play their songs and to get ready for a gig.
Yeah.
And so the one guy was also playing their drums so that the neighbors hear that some sort of music came out of the bunker. Crazy stories. And
Wow, dude.
yeah, and then the bunker, how the story I got to know why the bunker at the end, the coverage fall was that there was a neighbor all the time looking, and it was too much traffic in and out, and then he called the cops.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess it's a little naive of me to think that those things weren't going on for so long before, as they were in Canada, right, for a long time. Or you had different groups doing grows in big trailers, dug under the earth, and these things would come out every few years.
Legendary Canadian, I don't think 14 railroad
But
cabins
The
in the
containers.
forest with the diesel, which they brought with the truck into the mountains. Bro, this video is in fucking
Right?
insane.
Yeah, dude. That was the same feeling I had though when I seen the bunker. I was like, wait, this shit's been going on all over the world, bro. Like humans are creative and you leave it up to the gardeners, you know, they're gonna find a way and if they can to make it epic. Like both of those examples were just huge, you know, and just I couldn't imagine seeing it in full production at that time. But I absolutely love that video and I love a lot of the content that you throw out, man. Before
Yeah,
we
man.
get to the content, some of the new things that you're coming and your focuses on the channel and such, let's talk about events as a whole in Germany. What are some awesome events for those listeners all around Europe or even North America for us to be able to come and visit this year?
To visit this year, the look, it's like the culture is also overwhelmed by the possibilities now. So
Right.
everybody's let's do something. So it's in a we are now look, man, it's exactly I get goosebumps, bro. It's just 8 weeks ago that we legalized.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
True.
It's a second, yeah. So what I can tell you, a lot of sessions occurred, all private events. You have to know them via Instagram, yeah. So definitely every year the event where you will come, the Mary Jane, is a nice opportunity to come to Germany. It will be
Awesome.
in Berlin. Berlin, smoking friendly city, already decades. So the satellites events are interesting. So for sure we have local local events in Berlin, invite only. I will give a shout out, but they are invite only, but they are pushing the culture really at its finest. Berlin Clouds, crazy.
Awesome.
And there will what we also have in Germany, but it's not from Germany, but it helped also last year the German cannabis culture. The Full Moon Sesh was last year as a cup in Berlin.
Right.
It's a event which is touring all over the world. Bangkok. Now the next station will be Prague. So the
Ooh.
concept there is to go to countries where weed get accepted by the society and to push the culture. Yeah.
Right.
So and there will be also cups in Germany right now. It's all at the beginning. Like I said,
Yeah.
8 weeks in the past, nothing of this was possible. Now it
Right.
starts. I will try, like I said to you when we had the call, I will try to guide you through all the nice and important events. You can expect a lot of rooftop events in Berlin with sunset smokeouts,
Woo.
good and cheap food. Crazy, really.
Dude, so Mary Jane Berlin, this is an event that I had heard about before and before the change here this April. How long has Mary Jane Berlin been going on?
I think now 7 or 8 years. I think 7 years it must
Wow.
be.
And so there's never really been an issue, even before
Never.
April and this stuff. There's never been raids or what we seen in 2013 at the Cannabis Cup in Amsterdam, for example, or 2012, I think it was. There's never been anything.
No, I can tell you a story from 5 or 6 years in the past. This is the only story I remember. And then I tell you another story so that
Yeah.
you will see it's completely chilled. 5 years ago, it was on a different location. And I was walking over the expo, and there was a secret, not a secret, a corner which didn't get the attention that much, yeah. And there was
Yeah.
a guy who was selling 2.5 kilos of Moroccan hash out of his pockets, yeah. He
Right.
was really running around, and I thought, bro, this will end with police. Because everybody, do you need something? You was sitting outside. Do you know? Do you have something to smoke? No, bro, I don't have something. But there in the hall on the left corner, there's a crazy guy. He's selling hash, and everybody was going there. And then 1 hour later, I sent over some people to the dude, and they came back. No hash anymore. Okay, 2.5 kilos done. Yeah, on the
Whoa.
expo. So
Wow.
in the last years, I even if I don't like the style of business, I don't will drop a name, but the Germans will know exactly which company I'm meaning. There
Yeah.
was a company on the Mary Jane the last 2 years. They have been selling fertilizer and CBD weed in front. But in the moment you came to the booth, do you want to buy CBD? Come on, good price. Do you want some amnesia haze?
Yeah. Right.
And bro,
yeah.
they were selling on the expo, let's say 5 kilos of weed during 3 days, just over the counter. Everybody
Yeah.
was seeing it. So this is Berlin, bro.
Right. Oh my, dude. So holy, I can't even imagine. So in that case, so in both of those stories, there's no one in there that's like undercover and something happens at the end. Like it just was, huh?
Not on the events, not on the expos. Really,
Right.
this, you are exactly thinking the same like I have been thinking the last 6-7 years, bro. When the police next year they come,
Right.
bro. Even if we are in Berlin, bro, next year we will have, because bro, man, we were sitting all over the expo.
Yeah. Wow, dude. Yeah, because
Everything.
even rumors at Spanibus, this
Bro,
year there
for
was like
sure.
it might be rated the whole event, and I'm like, really? And it was somewhat believable because I think there was over 40 different social clubs that had been rated, and the whole situation was like, man, we're in 2024, we're watching, Germany go through this process and hopefully going into legalization. Yet we're in Spain right now and dealing with this. So that was definitely one of my questions to see what it was like there, and it's very interesting to hear that there has been no interference whatsoever, and very good news. I love
Yeah.
that.
One important thing for you as a visitor, officially, you are not allowed to buy weed, and nobody is allowed to give you weed. Okay, but at the
Yeah.
end, when you have weed, nothing special will occurs to you. So if you stay on the street with less than 25 grams,
Yeah.
for sure, the possession is legal. Yeah, for you, and you have to answer nothing to the police,
Right.
and they can't do nothing. The only way how they can take the weed away from you is because they will say, but this, how you say that in English, if you find something on the crime scene, this is
Evidence.
So they can say, okay, you can't be, because you are from abroad, you couldn't grow it yourself. So
Right.
by that, this weed, it came on illegal circumstances to your possession, which is legal. So this is why we take it away from you. But you can be relaxed, chill, buy. So the next thing is, in Germany we have a rule where you are not allowed, which is good, or a little bit crazy, but the intention is good. You are not allowed, the same like in Canada, to smoke 100 meters in front of schools,
Okay.
play yards, sport facilities, where social life is occurring. Okay, so
Okay.
by that there is a app where you can. It's called Bubatskarte. I will give you the link when you come to Berlin.
Smart.
So you look where you are. Okay, can I smoke here? No, I have to go 5 meters more there on the riverside. So,
That is smart, bro. And this app was invented just for that, or did it have an? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
yeah.
Genius. Shout out to the crew who made that app, because that will definitely be downloaded before I roll into the airport, dude, in Berlin.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait for that, bro. So Mary Jane Berlin, it's a 3-day. It's from Friday all the way till Sunday, correct?
Yes.
Hey.
You're doing it right. You're coming 2 days earlier. If you are really into cannabis and you like to get deep into the German cannabis culture, we call it now the German Cannabis Week. A lot of satellite events. Really, bro. There are other expos which docked on more B2B stuff. Yeah. Then there are congresses which are also as a satellite. Then you have the Up and Smoke Cup. You have the Berlin Clouds Sash. You
Oof, that
have
one sounds-
so many other sashes. You have the 420 events, Green Journey on the riverside on a boat with two different floors, with
Must.
a dab bar, good food, vegan food, no
Oh.
gluten, everything you need to be a hipster in Berlin, bro.
Yeah.
And everything is there. Good weed. You can expect really, like in every country, the growers will bring with joy the best to the table.
Yep.
In some way, it will be ending in your lungs. The food will be great. You will have an outstanding time. And I really can recommend everybody to come to Germany, visit our capital. It's
Yes.
really nice.
Heck yes, guys, definitely do. And I'll make sure this podcast gets out before we're actually there, boots on the ground. And stay in touch with Vince and Weed on Instagram as well, obviously on YouTube, but Instagram with both of our channels specifically to see what's going on, where we're going to be on a day-to-day basis. And hopefully we get to meet a bunch of you guys there as well. Vince, I'm really excited, bro, because your content's quality. You're pushing, a message and a vision that, is very necessary, especially at times like this. What kind of content has you excited now over the future and what you're going to be creating on your channel? What sort of things can we expect?
Oh, bro, this is one of the difficult questions because I changed the question a little bit. What the people expect from me is not that what I can really provide them, because YouTube is a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
What I want really to do, to be true, is something like you are doing, to make more content out of the garden. But it's so hard for me with 3 plants. I can't have parallel projects. And as a content creator, how hard it would be to make with 3 plants, scrogging, filming, a low stress training, cutting clones. It's at the moment, to be true, I'm not completely in my zone. I didn't found in the last 8 weeks my flow, how to work with this plant count.
Right.
But for sure, more garden content. I want to do visiting the German gardens. I want to look. This was a concept I have been doing in other German content creators the last decade, or the last 5-7 years ago. We have been visiting growers and to look to show what's going on in their gardens. And now it will change completely. I'm thinking about something like Pimp My Garden, to find sponsors like you also have on your side, and to say like AC Infinity, we go into a grow room where somebody's growing just in a shoe box or something, and at the end he has monitors all over. He can see the VPD on his app. Pimp My fucking grow room show. This would be a dream coming true.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Dude, that would be amazing. And shout out to AC Infinity. Apparently there's going to be a booth at Mary Jane. There's a big distributor down in Germany.
Bro, they are selling out in the moment the stuff lands. Touchdown. Sold out.
I imagine. And like you said, I'm so glad to hear that for everyone who's been working in this for so long. The time has finally come. Yes, it is hard for the end user, but it makes sense for this change to happen so quickly. So many new people probably got in the game and such, but yeah, that would be cool, bro. That would be amazing if we could tour grow together.
Millions of seed popping in the last 8 weeks. This is a picture you have to imagine, bro. We have been popping maybe 1 million seeds. Bro, I was on a stream with 6,000 people.
Wow.
And with another, you have to follow Home Grow Pro. He's also a really good educator. He's on my side. We have a grow course together from seed to weed in 100 days, where we really go every week in a call with our clients. Oh, it's today. And we look into the garden. We manage them through the grow, educating the people who want consulting. And the thing is that really it's so crazy. I lost the what I wanted to say.
Home Grow Pro.
With the seeds popping. We have been on the stream with 6,000 people, and he was showing 1 pack of Karma Genetics because we really like this breeder. Bro, shop crashed, sold out, no stock for 2 weeks. This is how many seeds in Germany have been popped. It's so ridiculous.
Oh my God. So that's really so cool. By the time we come, our plan is to hopefully tour a few grows. Hopefully we can do that together.
Some presents. The German love seeds. So if there's something special, seeds are not illegal. You can bring them private into the country. You can bring a lot of joy and smiles to the Germans if you have there something in your stash.
I will. A few that have been reaching out to me, I told them I'm going to be bringing a few of my personal stash and my own personal creations to hook up for the Grow Bros. Just to see it over there would be amazing. But Vince, where is the best place then for us to be able to keep in touch and see these things going down? Whether it's your website, this course that you've been talking about, other channels, where's the best place to follow you?
YouTube, Instagram, and if you understand a little bit of German, also Twitch. But to be true, it's YouTube and Instagram. Like you said, Instagram is more for daily content, to see what's going on, where I am, what I'm going through. And YouTube is really, my approach is I prefer a little bit less output, but more high quality. This is why sometimes you don't see it so regularly.
Yep.
But yeah, let's create
Heck.
some great content and keep on educating the people. This is on all platforms the same approach.
Heck yes. Guys, links are all down in the description below. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow Vince and Weed and keep up to date with what's going on. Is there anything you would want to say, maybe even in German, to any of the German Grow Bros watching this, or from Germany to the world? Is there a message you'd like to end this podcast with, to share with everyone?
Oh, yeah. If I can share something with the world, guys and girls, please stop to use the phrase Kelly. If you have good weed, use the term top shelf, because everybody of you is capable of growing your fucking own top shelf, and we don't have to try to be German Kelly, Spanish Kelly. No, grow top shelf.
Yes. There you have it, guys. You heard it here first. Vince, thank you so much, brother, for coming out. I feel like this was long overdue. We've been talking for so long, and in just under 2 weeks, we're going to be meeting in person, broing it down. Of course, not sharing any doobies whatsoever, but we'll be chilling out, dude. I can't wait.
Thank you for the invitation. Really outstanding to connect internationally with all the other content and educators about cannabis. Like I said, I can say it at the end of this podcast, I'm also a fan of your content. Really hit the follow button, like, subscribe, bro. This is high quality cannabis content with passion, and let's see what the future will bring for content we can do together.
Heck yes. All right, Vince, much love. Much love to everyone tuned in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Drop a comment, subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you guys next week on Homegrow TV.